had my manhood taken away from me. I had my dignity taken away from me, and I had to rely on other people for pretty much everything.
Zack broke his neck while diving headfirst into the ocean.
I broke my neck back in 2010. I was 15 years old, and me and my friends went to a local beach, and as I was running in the water, I saw a wave coming at me, and I basically dove headfirst into the wave and ended up hitting a sandbar, which is a very shallow spot in the ocean, and instantly was paralyzed. I broke my C4 vertebrae, and I remember laying there, still fully conscious. I was floating face down in the ocean, unable to move anything in my body. I remember as I was being pulled out of the water with my arms above my head, I saw them kind of just flop down to the sand right next to me, as if they weren't attached to my body. I couldn't move them, I couldn't lift them, and after that, I was transported to the hospital. There was no emergency surgeons at the hospital, so I actually laid in a hospital bed for about 2 or 3 days with a broken neck before they actually did the surgery. And so when I woke up, doctors basically kind of told me what happened and that I had broken my neck at my C4 vertebrae and had spinal cord damage, and I was diagnosed as a quadriplegic.
Even though the surgery was successful, Zack was permanently paralyzed.
I was a very independent person before my injury. I didn't like to ask for help for things. The biggest challenge that my injury had on me was the fact that it took away all of my independence. I don't think any teenager wants their parents to see them naked, and that was my reality. I couldn't shower or dress myself without a caregiver or my parents doing that for me, which involved them seeing me completely naked and vulnerable. I felt like I had my privacy taken away from me. I had my manhood taken away from me. I had my dignity taken away from me because my life now had zero privacy, and I had to rely on other people for pretty much everything.
Soon after, Zack began physical therapy and rehab and quickly began to gain his independence back.
As soon as I was out of the hospital, when I went to my rehabilitational center, that was part of the process, was physical therapy and occupational therapy. That was for 3 months. And I also went to college after my injury, which was something I never planned on doing prior to my accident. I ended up getting a wheelchair scholarship that helped pay for my education, and went to college, got a degree, and through my degree ended up finding a passion for counseling or therapy, which is a way I could help other people. I've moved out on my own. I have an apartment. I drive independently. I have an adaptive van with hand controls that allows me to drive. I got married last October, became a husband, and also a stepdad. I have an amazing stepdaughter now. We all live together. My message is to not give up. You can do this. One of my personal life mottos that I always tell myself when I go through a hard time is to improvise, adapt, and overcome. And that's helped get me through a lot of hard times.